Revelation 13 shows how Satan works in history through the beast from the sea and the beast from the earth. These two beasts represent chaos, violence, deception, and rebellion against God. The first beast is the agent of the dragon, Satan. In John's time, this beast was closely connected to the Roman Empire and its emperor. It represents political power that becomes evil when it uses authority for pride, oppression, violence, and self-worship. The beast looks strong and glorious, but it is only a false copy of the Lamb. One of its heads seems to be killed and healed again. This is a false imitation of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. People are amazed by its power and ask, "Who can fight against the beast?" But the beast's power is limited. It has already been seriously wounded by the cross and resurrection of Jesus.
The first beast speaks proud and blasphemous words against God. It persecutes the saints, deceives the nations, and demands worship. But its time is under God's control. Even when the beast seems to win, it does not have the final victory. Believers may suffer physically, but they are spiritually protected by God. So God's people need spiritual wisdom, endurance, and faith. Christians must also discern how Satan's rule can appear in politics, money, media, education, and culture. Christians should respect government authority, but when government demands religious loyalty or violates God's truth, believers must remain faithful to God. Even if they suffer, they must entrust their souls to God and live as faithful witnesses.
The second beast comes from the earth. It looks like a lamb, but it speaks like a dragon. This means it looks gentle and religious on the outside, but it speaks the words of Satan. It acts as a false prophet and leads people to worship the first beast. The second beast uses signs, deception, and religious pressure to support evil political power. It makes people believe that the beast should be worshipped. In John's time, this was connected to emperor worship. The second beast can also appear today. It appears whenever religion is used to support unjust power, extreme nationalism, greed, success, or human leaders as if they were absolute. False prophecy changes the values of God's kingdom into the values of power, wealth, pride, and control.
The beast system creates idols. These idols may be political leaders, money, power, production, consumption, ideology, nation, or even religious success. Anything that takes God's place becomes an idol. The beast system also controls people. Those who refuse to worship the beast are excluded, rejected, or persecuted. The empire wants one voice, one loyalty, and one way of thinking. But God's people are called to stand firm, like Daniel and his friends, and not bow before idols. At the end of Revelation 13, the number 666 appears. This number should not be understood only as a secret code for one person. It may point to Nero in its historical background, but more broadly, 666 represents every system that makes human beings less than God created them to be.
7 is a number of fullness, but 6 is incomplete. So 666 represents a false and evil copy of God. It is the number of humanity without God, humanity reduced to the level of the beast. By contrast, God restores his people through the Lamb. The beast system makes people beast-like, but Jesus makes people royal priests before God. The main message is clear. Satan uses political and religious powers to deceive people, create idols, and persecute God's people. But his power has already been limited by the cross and resurrection of Jesus. Believers must not be afraid. They must resist the beast system with wisdom, faith, endurance, worship, and loyalty to the Lamb alone.